Good evening traders and welcome to this week's Forex Focus. I hope you've all had a good week in the markets. I'd like to start off by apologising for this coming at you a little bit later. We've actually been away all weekend. Yesterday my daughter had a test called the 11 Plus in the UK, which is sort of like a big deal. So we gave her a little bit of a treat and we took her out over the weekend and just got back. So apologies for this coming at you a little bit late. But what we'll do is I won't keep you any longer. So we'll jump straight over to the charts and take a look at what could be setting up in the FX markets for the week ahead. So the first one that we're going to take a look at is this one here on the Aussie dollar. And I really like the Aussie dollar from a shorting perspective. If you take a look at the trend on the weekly chart and also on the daily chart, it's literally been down. We were waiting for a little bit of a pullback and it looks like we got that. And the opportunity that I'm looking to take, first of all, it is actually manifesting itself on the daily chart. If you take a look at it here, we sort of got the tweezers at the top there, which signals that we could be moving shorter. But the way that I am going to play this is actually looking at the 1 hour chart. So if you take a look at the 1 hour here, we've got a trend line here that's been tracking along the 100 moving average for about the last week or so. And basically I'm looking for this to break through this level here, give us a little bit of a pullback and then break through this low over here. And when it does that for me is going to be an indication of the resumption of the downtrend in the Aussie dollar. As I said, it's tracking the moving average here, it's tracking the trend line. And for me, the fact that the markets we had this massive up move over here, which was on Thursday on the back of the Fed rate or lack of rate hike rather on Thursday evening. Then we had the FOMC conference afterwards, and this is basically that price action here. It then pulled back. We then get another opportunity. Well, we then get another move to the upside, and it fails to get any higher than this. It then sells off quite violently all throughout Friday's trading. So that to me is an indication that actually the market, it doesn't want to go any higher. This is sort of where we're going to be looking for a turnaround, and for that reason, I'm going to be looking for a shorting opportunity once the market breaks through this trend line and through this 100 moving average. As I said, I'm not necessarily going to take it directly through this level. I will probably look for some sort of a pullback, or I'll initiate a sort of like a toe-in position, if you like. So a small, tiny position and when it first breaks this, but then wait for further confirmation before I put the whole position on there. But it's definitely something that I'm interested in. I do like the Aussie dollar short, so this could be a great opportunity to get involved in this downtrend here. The other opportunity is one in the New Zealand yen. So the New Zealand yen for me is, as you can see here on the weekly chart, it's broken through some serious structure level. We had a massive amount of momentum through there. Then we had a bit of a pullback. And then the last few weeks, we zoom in here on the weekly chart. The last few weeks has kind of just been playing within this range here. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the market to break through, which what I've done here of the 4 hour chart. I've sort of encapsulated that range there. I'm waiting for the market to break through there. So trend line break to the downside, at which point I'll then look to get involved in this trend, because looking at this momentum move here on the weekly chart, looking at it on the daily chart over here, clearly the energy is towards the downside in this particular pair here, and it is a move that I want to get involved in. So as soon as this starts to break down, that's something that I'm going to be looking to take. The euro pound is another one. When we get through these lows here, I'm going to initiate another position down here because I already had one on. But basically take another position when the market gets through this level here. And ultimately the thinking behind this is that obviously we've got a large downtrend, as you can see here, from the weekly, from the dailies. And the market's been trying to get above this resistance level here for quite some time. So back in March it got there. Again in April, May we broke through it, but then it sold back below. June again, it got through it. And then as recently as August and September, we've been playing with this level here. Now, if the market can't break above this level, after all of this pressure here, and it starts to break down below these lows, which is what I have highlighted over here on the 4 hour chart. If it breaks below those lows, and I'm fully anticipating a move down towards these lows here at around the 0.69 60 or 50. So somewhere around that area there. If the market can't use this opportunity here while it is at the highs to break through and go higher. So if it doesn't do that and it breaks lower, we're going to be taking another position here to go towards the lows of this chart. The franc yen is another one which actually we're already in. We took this on Friday. So we're already in this position here. As you can see, the market's broken through that trend line there. Initial stops above the high. And then we're going to see how this pans out over, obviously, this evening's trading, being Sunday and tomorrow and Tuesday. But we're already in this position here. If you haven't taken this position, then you may have already missed the boat. It depends how the market opens up. If it gives us a little bit of consolidation, then potentially you'd look for some sort of a break of that consolidation down to the downside. And then we've got a lot of fresh air here. If you take a look at this chart here on the daily, if the market breaks below where it is now, then it breaks below these lows, we potentially have sort of like a 300 pip move on our hands for the very next level. And that very next level is just here. Once we get below there, we've got a hell of a long way to the next support level, which would be down at 11469 or around that sort of area there. So plenty of scope on this trade here to really pay us. So great risk reward trade on the table for us there. And then finally, the final one that we're going to look at this week is the euro dollar. Now, we're actually already in this euro dollar trade. We took a long euro dollar trade on Tuesday off of the back of, again, the Fed rate decision. So we thought that we would see some dollar weakness in the short term. We took an initial position there. It looked good all of Friday, but then Friday, obviously, it started to turn around and it literally took us out. And what we did is we had a position on where I had a stop and a stop below these lows here, but at the same time, I had another entry order here. So basically, when the market failed to get above there, I'd move the stop up to here, stop below these lows here, plus another position. So at the moment, we're currently in the money on this euro dollar position, and I'm anticipating a further move to the downside. So at least towards these lows here and potentially down towards this trend line. I still like the euro dollar short in the long term anyway. So this is me sort of just dipping our toe in anticipation of the bigger move. So got quite a good price up here, and we'll just have to see how this plays out. Okay, so that wraps it up for this week's Forex Focus. Again, apologies that this is coming out to you a little later than usual. Another thing, you probably noticed that my hair is a slightly different color. The reason for that is basically I've discovered a few gray hairs recently, and I've done what any self-respecting adult would do. And I've decided to age gracefully and start dyeing my hair. So to cover up a little bit of the grey. Just trying to hold on to my youth there, you know. So, but anyway, jokes aside, thank you very much for watching this week's Forex Focus. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some value there. And if you have any comments, please post them below the video. Give us a thumbs up. And I'll see you in next week's Forex Focus. So thank you very much for watching and take care now.